What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 7 of the Pondering Nerdcast. I am Nate Rowe, and along with me, as always, we have Lance John.
Hey guys, what's up?
Alyssa Spector.
Hey guys!
And guest starring with us tonight, we have a special treat. We have one of the admins from Gaming Rebellion on with us. He is our social media manager, Derek Moore.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Real happy to be here.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, let's hop right into the topics because we got a lot to cover today, and there's some news that actually dropped today. We record this on a Thursday, so this is May 14th, 2015 is when this is being dropped. Konami has announced that their plans for the future are going to be aggressive in the mobile market. And this has caused a huge stir for every Konami fan, and a lot of people are thinking, does this relate back to the Kojima Konami feud that's been going on and stuff? So I kind of wanted to bring it to the table and just get y'all's thoughts on, like, are you sad to see Konami go? Do you think it's time? Do you think they're making a smart move? Derek, what are you thinking, man?
Has there ever been a game producer that went to the whole mobile-only thing and didn't go under or completely lose money? And Konami's been so bad in the last few years about screwing over every good IP they have. Castlevania, for example. Silent Hill was canceled, which was going to be awesome. Metal Gear is the only thing they've got going for them anymore, and I don't even care for the series anymore, but kind of wonder how bad this newest one's going to come since they're doing all this crap while it's going on. But I've been wrong before, but I don't trust mobile game-only development. I think it's a stupid idea, honestly.
Well, I mean, and that's a legitimate fear. I mean, what you're talking about with the Metal Gear Solid specifically, there are rumors now that, and these are just rumors. I do want to say these aren't fully substantiated claims, but there are rumors from inside Konami that they're talking about killing Metal Gear after this, that this is going to be the last Metal Gear, and that they're heavily moving into making casino games mobily and stuff like that. Like, Alyssa, as somebody who makes casino games, do you think this is going to be cool, or what do you think?
I mean, I don't know, because I don't really see that. I mean, I personally, even though I work for a company that makes slot machines and casino games, I mean, I don't know. I personally am not a big fan of slot machines, but it's just, Konami was known for, Metal Gear and Silent Hill and, actual games. Slot machines is just, there's no real skill. It's just luck to, to win whatever, to win money. So... it's just a shame that Konami is going down this road because they made such fantastic games and they're just digging themselves into a hole, in my opinion.
Yeah, the overall sales numbers on the Metal Gear franchise alone over the years has been staggering, you know what I mean? Even though it has drifted off, title by title it's gotten a little bit smaller, but it is sad to see like a franchise that big. I mean, as far back as Contra. I mean, everybody has, like, Lance, I'm sure you played Contra, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, what are your thoughts on Konami going under? You know what I mean? Basically, well, we say going under, I guess, in the console market, but it's more, what do you feel on their, move towards the mobile market?
Well, I guess the best thing I could think about, the only thing that keeps coming to my head is, like, what happened? Are they just lazy? I mean, and I say that not trying to diss any developers out there or anything like that. Don't kill me. I know that it takes a lot of work to actually create these things. Even mobile games take a lot of work, but that's quite a shift. That's a real huge shift to the other side. It's almost as if, well, we don't really have any ideas besides Kojima, and he left, and we don't know what to do, and where do we go? This almost seems like a panicked move. Like, we don't have anything else. and it's kind of strange to me. Like, I'm sure there's a bunch of other developers out there that they can hire to create new IPs to continue this brand, to totally shift over. I mean, what kind of mobile games are they even thinking about making?
I don't even know if that's been confirmed yet. Like, this news just dropped 10 hours ago, and we do know for a fact that one of the heads of Konami, that's been that was one of the founders. He's been a CEO ever since. He has made investments into the gambling market, which is actually illegal in Japan. So we don't know if it's going to be casino games or if it's going to be. I mean, they could be. One thing we were talking about before the show. It hasn't been 100% confirmed. But the Dance Dance Revolution teams, and smaller teams that they had that were working on smaller games, they have been broken down and been put into different departments. So essentially, they're now just all audio engineers as opposed to game developers. And so it's kind of sad, but you would hope that they're going to continue with some Konami games for mobile, right? I mean, you would think that some sort of cheesy Metal Gear is going to come out for iOS or something. I mean, why abandon?
They actually did have a cheesy MGS game on iOS.
Oh, did they?
They did?
Yeah, right as MGS4 came out, they had a MGS Touch, and it was that's the next name. It
Touch your
like
snake
behind the back. Yeah, not public. You shot by touching the screen, and it was so boring. It's like they were charging $7 for this.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm afraid that's the market.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I had no qualms whatsoever that I pirated the crap out of it.
Yeah, and, that's also an issue too. It's actually really easy to pirate mobile games. So I don't really, because I'm reading an article here. They're saying that they're going to aggressively pursue the mobile platforms. And they're going to do games like pay as you play. So I'm guessing like Candy Crush type games or that sort of... No, actually, I should say that's more of the financial model when it comes to those games. Like, what's that big one everybody's playing? Clash of Heroes? What the fuck? Clash of Clans?
Oh.
Yeah, that nonsense. So they're probably going to... So they're going to move from a Metal Gear Solid game that is, had frustrating moments, as in long-ass cutscenes, to a play-as-you-play game with frustrating build times. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see what they're going here with now. Yes. Yep. They should definitely go to mobile. This all makes sense now. But
if anybody knows how to make something frustrating, it's Konami.
Yeah. So I like I said. I hope this is not like what I was saying before. I don't know. This is all still rumor, just my opinion. But I do feel like this is a panicked move now that Kojima has left them. Their golden boy has left them, so they're like, well...
Yeah, and, it sucks when he's such a backbone to something that's what everybody thinks, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, it's not like, even when he left, his people didn't all leave right then. They're still hard at work on Metal Gear Solid until the day it comes out, I would assume. The rumors are now that the company is trying to phase them out of the company by making the work conditions harder, transferring their desks for no reason, power outages and stuff like that. Like, seriously, just messing with them for no reason, but to try and get them to resign on their own. And this is just internal rumors, but all this is based on a video, and we'll have it in the description below, that was a YouTube video that Konami tried to have taken down because of the sensitive information. So, because it was supposed to be from inside sources and yada yada.
And the interesting thing about the video is the guy that does it. I may butcher this last name. Please excuse me. George Weidman. He was really good about saying this is anonymous. He did verify that the names and the job titles they had were accurate, but he never says, of course, who. He says, it's anonymous sources. It could be wrong. Mm-hmm. But Konami's attempt to block the video only failed because they filled the form out wrong.
Well, that's possible. It's possible that that's the reason. Anyway, the video is up right now, but by the time you see this, it may be down. But the link will be in the description below. So if it's taken down, you know why. Konami didn't want no part of that.
And I recommend you guys watch. The guy makes awesome videos anyway.
Okay, yeah, so definitely check out his stuff. But moving on, we're going to go into some other rumors that are floating around out there. Recently, I don't even know if you would classify him as a graphic designer. Maybe
I think animator is what his title
yeah,
was.
okay, so animator. An animator recently listed on his resume that he did the cinematics to Fallout 4, and this is the same guy that's done the cinematics to. I'm sure Derek, you know the other titles he's done the cinematics
Um,
to.
he works for Guillermo del Toro's production company, and he did another one. I want to say someone can fix me the console. I want to say one of the Witcher, not the game, but one of the announcement trailers they worked on. And he's done work for other stuff, and all he did was put it on his LinkedIn profile and say, "Hey, I did this. Hire me."
Right.
And this poor dude is set forth a firestorm.
Yeah,
And I feel bad for the guy because everyone's like, "Oh no, it's hush hush." And the big thing going with it is Bethesda announced they're going to actually have an event at E3, which they haven't done in years.
yeah.
And someone like me who dropped 100 hours each into Fallout 3 in New Vegas, like, "Oh, please be Fallout 4." Like,
It's
last
got to
year
be
they did the
right.
Mad
I
Max
mean,
trailer. I
when
was
you,
like,
when
"Oh,
you
it's
hear
Fallout."
that,
Nope.
yeah, when you hear that Bethesda is going to do something that they haven't done in years, and then coupled with this, where this guy is catching so much heat, and it's basically that he's catching the heat because apparently he must have signed some non-disclosure agreement saying that he wouldn't talk about it, and by putting on his LinkedIn profile that was a part of his resume and yada yada, he was breaking that NDA. So that's why he got into trouble. So that can almost confirm it, right? I mean, you would think that
Yeah.
at E3 we're going to see Fallout 4.
And it wasn't that he said that he worked on game footage as much as a trailer, which, I mean, could be anything.
Yeah, that could be
But-
anything.
And I
Like,
figure NDA is probably. Now, I admit I don't work in animation. I can't drop the beans. I don't work in the game industry. But I figure NDA stuff like this is probably common when you're doing stuff that's going to be big. Like, if let's say they do announce Fallout 4, it's going to be huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I can understand them being upset. There was probably an NDA, at least one involved. But I'm wondering how much is actually true and how much of this is rumors. And, of course, like I said, I'm fanboying because I want Fallout 4 badly. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping it's accurate.
And then from the resume that I'm reading here, it seems like, yeah, he is an artist, and it looks like he only works with trailer-based stuff and nothing to do with the actual game itself.
Yeah.
So it's, like he's a 3D artist. That's all he really is. So, then again, this is, I didn't realize NDA covered that as well. Like, well, I don't no longer work for this studio. I need a new job, so I'm putting it on my resume. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna sue you. I'm like, what the? He's like, it's like,
Yeah.
shit.
That is an interesting point, like
Yeah.
especially when you're because you got to look for work while this game is still under wraps, right?
Right,
And
yeah.
I mean, now that's not to say now if they do announce this game and his video is shown at E3 and it's only a couple months away, I could understand the company being pissed at this guy because you're ruining an announcement that everybody's hoping for. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't know. The guy has to get work, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like,
that's
I
going to
don't
look
see-
good on a resume. Like I did the Fallout 4 cinematic
Yeah.
trailer.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can understand where he's coming from because, like, I remember I would have to work on, like, I'd be contracted to, work on some things, and it's like, oh, I want to add this to my resume and tell people about it, but they're like, no, don't tell anybody about the project. It's still under wraps. Once it's released, you can put it on your resume, but sometimes, like, the project will either never get released or it won't be released for a year, but I want to try to find new work, so it's difficult. I would still just put it on my resume and just say, like, I was contracted for, but not name the name of the project, or
Okay.
find a way to just,
Like, you were contracted for
go
this
around it.
studio. Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell
Yeah.
you which project I work for and for this studio.
Yeah.
It's like,
see, I wouldn't list, like, he worked on the trailer. I mean, I guess, he wants to impress people, like, I worked on the Fallout 4 trailer, but, at least just say, like, you worked at the studio. People will know, like, oh, that's the studio that, that's what they're famous for.
Yeah, like, I mean, he worked for Blur Studio for a little while, and he did the Avengers trailer, apparently. And,
Figured that'd be a
Really?
big
like,
resume
that's pretty
builder.
impressive, like,
Yeah.
and, but I don't know, man. I feel like I guess he broke the NDA, but at the same time,
Well, and also we don't know what the NDA says, so
Yeah. And again, like, this is, like we said earlier, this is probably nothing to do with gameplay, nothing to do with how the game is going to function itself. This is this is probably something that is nothing more than an eye-catching trailer that's like, be on the lookout for Fallout 4 news. You know what I mean?
And I'll be pissed at E3 if it's like a 30-second spot. I'm like, really?
It probably will be. I mean, it's probably one of those things where they'll come up, they'll have somebody from Bethesda come up and talk and say, you know, we haven't been here in a while, we're glad to be here, and we know some of you guys have been waiting for this for a long time, so without further ado...
Here's the 30 seconds of shit.
Yeah, exactly. And then people are going to be so crazy hyped.
You guys will be able to hear my F-bomb in your
house. Like, fuck this shit! No, it's just... I hope it's a, you know, like a trailer, like it's about 4 minutes long or whatever. But I don't know.
But you can't with a video game. Like, you can't. They're not gonna. No, there's no way. I really doubt that they have in-game engine footage of stuff going on. And if they do, it's got to be.
Engines normally are. I don't blame them.
Yeah, you know. So that's another thing. I mean, with Fallouts. I mean, like Alyssa, you said that before the show that you hadn't really played too many of the Fallouts, and I played Fallout 3, but I only got about halfway through New Vegas. I mean, you know, so. Don't get me wrong, like, I do want to play Fallout 4. You know, I'm hyped for the news and stuff, but I guess I want to see something more substantial than that teaser, even though we know, I guess, almost confirmed now that the teaser is coming, E3. I guess we could still get hyped for it. Do you think it's going to live up to the hype, Derek? Like,
oh, God.
I figured I'd ask you, of all people, who's probably most hyped.
You know, a few years, maybe 2 years ago, they found Bethesda employees were scouting in Boston for locations, taking pictures. Thought, oh, this is going to be where Fallout 4 takes place at, and nothing happened. And even last year, there was that Mad Max trailer, and while I was watching, I was like, oh God, it's Fallout 4 afterwards. Who cares about Mad freaking Max? And I'm like, usually I watch E3 every year. I pay attention to it, and I'm just to the point where I'm so cynical about trailers there that I don't want to get too hyped up, but at the same time, holy crap, Fallout 4.
Yeah.
So it's blind cynicism versus fanboy squeeing. Take your pick.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, to kind of wrap up gaming news, we're going to go right into the next topic. And reviews are already coming out about Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And IGN has given it a 9.3, I believe. GameSpot has given it a perfect 10. So and it's expected to get crazy Metacritic reviews. So there's no doubt it's a great game. Like, that's it looks beautiful from all the gameplay footage I've personally seen. It looks great. The question that's coming into play, though, and a lot of people are talking about this. Kind of Funny Videos did a video about this. So I don't want to take full credit for this question or anything, because this is something that's been circling around. But I did want to bring it to the table. They're saying that to 100% this game, to go do all the side quests and see everything the game has to offer, you are going to be committing yourself to at least 200 to 300 hours to this game. And so my question, I guess, to you guys, and I'll start with you, Derek, how long is too long for a game? Like, do you think this is too long? Do you think this is acceptable? What are your feelings, man?
It kind of depends. If 200 to 300 hours is the main quest, yeah, that may be too long, and I'm normally one of the first ones to complain when a game is too short. My normal yardstick is go by minimum wage in America, $7.50. It should be worth that many hours, how much you pay for it. If you don't get that much out of it, then it's too freaking short. And if it's 200 or 300 hours with all the side quests and everything, no, not at all. I mean, you're more than getting your money's worth. If you complete the main quest in, let's say, 80, that's a normal RPG anymore. But 200, 300 for a main quest would be too long. That's just including side quests. No, I think it's great. And it's just, I love that the question now is not, is the game too short? It's, this game has too much. It's
well,
and turnaround.
Yeah, and see, you're seeing that because our generation, right? Some of the hardcore gamers out there. I mean, got jobs and bills. Like, you know, it's one of those things where the exception can be made for maybe some MMO players who will play a game for years on end, the same game, and that's because there's content usually coming out, and that's how you keep an MMO player playing. But for a game like this, anybody who just wants to play an RPG and somebody who also likes to be 100%er, that's just such a commitment. You know what I'm saying? Like, Alyssa, could you sit down and commit yourself to 200 to 300 hours? Like, if you were one of these people that has to 100% a game, I mean, you're a working girl. Like, I'm sorry. Wait, that sounded wrong. I'm sorry.
Wow.
You are a woman in the workforce. What do you think? Would you commit yourself to 200 to 300 hours to a video? I'm sorry. That sounded so horrible. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. I mean, if I didn't have any other games that I wanted to play, or there were other games that were coming out that I was planning to play, then sure, I would, totally spend all my time playing this game. Like, I love RPGs, but lately it's like, it takes, right now when I'm playing a game, I just want to just do the main story and complete all I can, and then because it's just now I have such a huge backlog of games. It's like, I just want to finish this game. And with RPGs, I love RPGs. I love leveling up the character. I love the story and finding and doing all the side quests and stuff. But it takes forever. Like, right now I'm playing Bravely Default, and I think I've been playing that game since January, so and I'm still
that's
playing
easily a 100+ hour game, you know what I mean? And this one, you're talking possibly 2 to 3 times that, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like, Lance, what do you like? You also play, I wouldn't say you're like hardcore, but you definitely like to jump on when you can. I mean, is that something you would even want to attempt, knowing that it's 200 to 300 hours? Does that deter you at all or anything? Or
well, from the sound of it, yeah, it kind of sounds a bit like daunting, but if it's a game that I truly enjoy, the time won't matter at all. And I've always been like, ever since gamers now have to pay for games that are like $60 plus, I've always felt like, now a game this long sounds like it's worth the $60, like every single penny of it, even the deluxe version, because I'm sure The Witcher is going to be an amazing game. I've yet to play part 2. I've only played part 1, but from what I played, I loved it. I think it's awesome. I don't know if I'm going to just do 100% because I don't think I have that time. But at the same time, I know if I go like a year later and revisit it, I didn't take out that village of elves over there, I'm gonna go kill everyone down today. It's like, there's maybe games. Yeah, I would just say, like, it just seems like it would give you get more for your money. And I appreciate that. I appreciate a developer that's going to put out that amount of content. It sounds like they're just like, okay, kitchen sink, bathroom, give me your car, your grandmother. They put everybody in this. Like, it's like, and it sounds like this is like a labor of love for them. So I would enjoy that. I would enjoy that labor of love for, and I put down my 65, plus tax, whatever, and I'll get the game,
Now, I do know that the story itself is only going to take roughly, I don't think it's going to take anywhere near 200 to 300 hours for the story. The story, actually, from what the guy at IGN reviewed it said, he said that the story was actually kind of dull. That it wasn't. The game really shined when you went off on your own, and when you went off to go try and find your own adventure and find a random side quest giver and this, that, and the other. And my only fear is that it's 200 to 300 hours of fetch quests. Like, I hope it's not. I hope that the side quests actually have some character to them, and there's story, and there's basically, you're telling your own story, as opposed to just, oi, I need those things over there, Dick. And you go run over there and kill those things. You're like, here's your reward. And,
maybe there's like a side mission where you can raise a family or something.
Who knows? I mean, like, this is supposed to be a crazy expanded universe. It's supposed to be absolutely enormous in-game areas. So, 200 to 300 hours, though, it's one of those things where, I mean, how does somebody commit to that? You know what I mean? Like, anybody who wants to go, I personally, when I play an RPG, I want to go grab that shiny item. I want to go get that new treasure that's going to help me kill the next boss.
Right.
But if I'm thinking in my head, damn, it might take me 15 hours to go through this quest line to get this or whatever. It's like, man.
And I kind of wonder how much of the time is actual gameplay, how much is padding. You know, I don't want to backtrack every freaking item. I'll throw the disc out the window at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, the reviews sound good, but I don't trust reviews a lot of times until the Metacritic stuff comes in.
Is this particular game co-op in any way? Is there multiplayer or anything like that?
I don't believe so. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I believe that Witcher 1 and Witcher 2 were both very much a single-player experience, that there might have been some sort of... I believe in Witcher 2 there was some sort of PvP mode, I want to say. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. But... yeah, I don't remember, man. I don't think so. I believe this is going to be a single player experience for the most part.
Okay.
So
because then I would say maybe that's why the 200-300 hours is in there, because
it would help, right? Like if you had drop in and out co-op, imagine that. Like I would be totally down for that, right?
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, it kind of struck me back because 200 or 300 hours is holy crap on a game. You know what I mean?
That's a lot.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to move into a little bit of tech news, and this one is some sudsy tech news.
Yep.
Had to say that. Okay, so Lance actually discovered this gadget that makes cheap beer taste like an expensive draft pour. It basically the gist of it is it's going to reshoot your beer into your glass and give it a really nice foam, and it's going to bring out all the flavors. Like, break this down a little bit for us, Lance.
So this nifty little gadget that looks like a trash can with a lid on it, according to them, is pretty much what you said. It's like it's almost like recycled beer in a way, or just like a fancy way of pouring that you already have. Like you just put your can in, close the lid, hit the button. So it's almost like you're having this personal bartender that's like somehow magically makes your beer taste, well, better. And it's an Indiegogo campaign right now, and it's about I think they want to reach about 50 grand to.
They already reached it.
They did. Okay.
Yeah, I believe in the article it said that they already reached it, and that this thing was supposed to be backpack sized, and you could use it on the go, and
From the video, it looks really. It's not tiny, but I could see that at being a hit at parties and stuff like that. I kind of want to try it out just to see what the big difference is, because I'm not really a beer nerd, but I do enjoy a good brew here and there. But it's an interesting concept. I don't know if it's worth. According to them, the device will be sold for like $119. I don't know if it's worth that.
And that's the pre-order. They said they said that when it actually hits the market, they're expecting it to be like $199 or something. But if you pre-order it through the Indiegogo project, basically it was going to be a little cheaper for you. Derek, I mean, you make your own beers, correct?
Yeah.
So are you excited for something like this? Would you be excited to buy this and try yours? Like,
one of the things that's cool about like Guinness is if you buy the cans, and I love Guinness, the bottles, they have these little things in there that looks like a rocket ship, and it's got nitrogen in it to keep it bubble.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sorry, but putting the good head on a crappy beer means you're still drinking a mug of piss.
Yeah. Natty Light is Natty Light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I thought.
I've got to say it about light beer, but I won't say it in polite company. I can't imagine. Yeah, it's a cool idea, don't get me wrong, that they can do this with head, because sometimes when you get a good beer and it has a bad head, you're like, just a letdown. But I can't imagine that you're going to be able to take PBR and make it taste like Sam Adams.
Right.
It's not magic.
Yeah.
So, I'll wait to see afterwards, but $200 is way too much. You can get a full set to brew your own beer for much less than that, bottles and all.
Because it strikes me as a Sky Mall device. Something you see that, unfortunately, Sky Mall is not around.
Yeah.
God, there was
It's
some
a shame.
stuff.
I like that catalog. I mean, I didn't buy anything from it, but they had the most ridiculous products.
Yeah, it looks like a as seen on TV type deal that you'd see in like Walgreens almost. That's what kind of the vibe it gave off to me.
Well,
You know what I
no,
mean?
Skyball was cool because like you could buy stuff like, oh, you could get this Bigfoot lawn ornaments to stick on your lawn. They just crap like that.
Damn, this company's gonna hate us after today.
What you're gonna buy when you're drunk on a plane? You know what I mean? They never know, dude. Just throw it all in the catalog. Drunk people will buy anything.
Like they had one that was like this plush dinosaur that was a good 2.5 feet tall and it was motorized, so the kids could ride it.
Oh, nice!
It was like $500.
Oh man!
Well, you know what's funny? There's actually this big house around where I am in this one neighborhood. It's like a rich neighborhood, so you drive by. It's like a big mansion, and their whole lawn, I think, is just covered with crap they bought from the Sky Mall. Just all these big statues. You see like Tarzan swinging from their tree, and you see like a pirate in one corner, and there's a whole bunch of dinosaurs. And people, when they drive by, you just turn your head like, what?
It's a Sky Mall Museum.
Sky
Mall. Best seen on TV.
This house is famous. They were actually featured in the newspaper about, they said, oh yeah, we bought all our stuff from Sky Mall. Like, rich couple that vacations a lot, I guess.
Well, I tend to agree with Derek on this thing. Like, as far as, and it's not, obviously, this device is not meant for everybody. Like, the redneck that parties every Friday playing beer pong and stuff, they don't really care how... Yeah. It doesn't really care how our beer tastes. Like, they're drinking beer to get drunk. Like, this is for somebody that really wants to, I don't know, I guess, enjoy a better brand of beer, but not the best brand of beer. You know what I mean?
I'll go ahead and say it. It's a hipster device. This is something
kind of what it sounds like.
This is what I'm gonna see at like a hipster barbecue here in Brooklyn. The name of the product is called Frizzix. F-I-Z-Z Frizzix, and they're saying that it like the way this is done. It's by oscillating pressure waves from some sort of medical grade generator. I've never heard of what this thing is. I
don't know, but I want to play with this thing now.
Yeah, it's like.
I just realized is it a pun on the word like physics, like PHY, but fizz?
Probably, yeah.
I just got that like.
Physics with an F and 2 Z's.
Say English, punch a marketer.
Because I really don't think this is worth $200. If I think it should be around maybe $60 or something. Because it has it runs off of 2 AA batteries, and yeah.
How powerful could it really be running off 2 AA batteries?
Like, and maybe it takes forever to pour out whatever you're trying to pour out, but whatever.
Bet you you could be sitting there for like an hour with a beer, just like
just sitting there like. And in the video because the video is from The Verge, like the guy's pouring it out, the glass is like this big, like it's a really tiny mug.
Not a glass.
It's a really tiny mug.
Take one sip, it's gone. It's like that was good. What's happening?
But I mean, if you want to check out the Indiegogo, go right ahead. You get one of these.
What I don't understand is selling it for $200. It's like the idea to me is for someone who wants better beer, but maybe not able to afford it.
Right.
Like where I live at, the middle of nowhere, craft beer is hard to find sometimes. But if you're getting something that's $200 and you're saying, well, you can get cheap beer and make it good, it kind of evens out that I would just buy cheap beer. But I don't drink that much.
Yeah. I want to impress your friends.
This is going to be...
Despite what my accent says, I'm not one of the rednecks who's drunk every Friday night.
No, I didn't. And of course, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant like... The people that are in it, that extends to frat boys, that extends to anybody that just drinks beer to get drunk. They don't care about the taste. I was that guy for a little while, you know what I mean?
What the hell it tastes like.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but it's this is definitely not for them. This is definitely not for that guy that every Friday picks up a 24-pack of Natty Light. It's not going to make Natty Light taste any better. I'm sorry.
No,
it's not going to make. It's not going to make Miller High Life taste any better. I don't care.
I'll say this though: if it does get it to the market and fails, I'll buy one when it's cheap to play with. Why not? If nothing else,
be
I have a
fun to
medical
play
grade oscillator to play with.
Pressure wave. No,
I mean, to be fair, I love my beer, but I'm one of those that like it takes me forever to finish a beer. So like, if I'm halfway done with it and I see it's going flat, it would probably be helpful. But
That would be good.
I wonder if that is. I wonder if you could drink half your beer, pour it into there, redistribute it. Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I guess that could help. You know,
it would almost recarbonate it for you once it's one
you
flat.
could probably do that with soda too.
Ooh.
yeah, because it doesn't say that you can't.
It's the same thing. It's still carbonation.
Pretty much, yeah. Like you just get a really nice can, just pop the sucker in there.
You
Because that's
could
how it
probably
works.
You could probably just stick it in a soda stream. They have devices that you can
Oh yeah.
like refizz your water. Like you can make carbonated water. There's a whole thing.
What if that's all they do? Like they just put cream soda in that, and then that's just how they make that butter beer that you were talking about. Like, they use one of those for
technology
years.
came from
It's
Harry
like
Potter.
butterbeer's secrets out.
It's
No.
a secret magical recipe.
Yes, it is.
Found it on Google.
Is that what it is?
I gotta say this though, the idea of like refizzing your beer and soda, I don't know why, but I'm in flashbacks to the future scenes in Back to the Future too. It goes right along with the food rehydrator or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
right.
supposed to be now.
Yeah, where's my flying car, my hoverboard?
Well,
We talked about a hoverboard at one time, but that's
Hollywood
actually,
lied to us.
yeah. But anyway, speaking of Hollywood, let's talk about some just disturbing news. A first look trailer was given for Supergirl, and I was actually kind of psyched for this when I saw the link. I was like, "Oh, cool! You know, let's check this out." We'll have it in the description below. But goodness gracious, it looks terrible. Like, I'm sorry, just for me, it looked terrible. It came off. I'll go ahead and toss it around the table. So Lance, let's start with you, man. Like, what were your thoughts on this? I don't even know what else to say about it. Like, go ahead.
So I think this is Devil's Wears. What was the name of the movie? Devil's Wears Prada.
The Devil
Wears Prada.
Right, meets
Mean
SNL.
How to lose a guy in 10 days.
Yeah, meets, and then all of a sudden, she has superpowers. Yeah,
A chick flick, romantic comedy.
No, that's because this trailer, we should let people know, is 6 minutes and 36 seconds long. So
It's basically going to sum up the first episode. Like, you said that before the podcast, but that's basically it. Like, is there a reason to watch the first episode after seeing all that? Like,
no, unless you just want to see to see how they handle the fight scenes. But it's everything about it just kind of like, okay, from what I understand about Supergirl, from the comics and stuff like that, or even in the television shows, or even the cartoon cinematic features that they've done, she's always been a pretty young woman, around 17 or so, something like that. This one, she's not. She's in her early 20s, I think, and works with some sort of advertising firm. And she's, they're doing the whole tropes of, well, I'm a superhero, but I'm goofy and I got glasses, yay! And I take them off and I'm somebody else. I'm like, oh god, So, and it's really colorful. I appreciate that. They're saying that the same people who work on the Flash and Arrow is the same people working on this as well. I'm not sure how they pull that off because that's a completely different studio, but and it just goes into this, like, they try to get dark with it, but she still looks super ridiculous in the costume, and I'm just like, and I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't know how to receive this. I feel indifference, a little bit of like, this must be, I thought I was being punked. This guy's, I thought it was a sketch from SNL, because when she met Jimmy Olsen, well, he corrects her and says, "No, my name is James." He's also 6'2" and a Greek Adonis looking. I've never seen Jimmy look so good in my life. I was like, wow.
Yeah, wasn't he? He's supposed to be like a real nerdy.
Yeah,
dude,
very
right?
fidgety type of dude. I don't even care that. Okay, they changed. Like, he's the James Olsen in this universe. He's black, just like he was in Man of Steel. I believe he was black in Man of Steel, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember Jimmy Olsen being.
Never seen it.
Don't even waste your time seeing that movie. It sucks. Anyway, but
It wasn't that bad.
It was bad.
I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as like the superhero movie before that.
Oh,
in my
that
opinion.
was that's also
Yeah,
Was that when Superman Returns?
Yeah.
It's terrible. He's now the Atom on Arrow. If you guys are interested in following him, but yeah, he like the trailer was just like, and it seems like she told the entire world who she was. Hey, I am Supergirl, and apparently she got pissy because they called her Supergirl. She's like, why can't you call me Superwoman? And she keeps mentioning her cousin, and it was like, and all you see is a silhouette of this dude like, hi, Kara. It was like, it was like
Well, like halfway through the trailer, okay, the very beginning of it, it lost me from the beginning, man, because it played off like some ABC family teen, mama drama type deal, and I just got this job at this firm and everything's so awesome. And like halfway through the trailer, it started to get cool for a second because it's like she sees a plane going down. She knows her I guess somebody she's related to. I don't know if that's her sister or cousin or somebody's on the plane.
Her adopted sister. No.
Yeah, something like that. So she sees that person on the plane. She's like, oh crap, and she starts running and she just takes off, and she's trying to learn how to fly. Apparently she got learning how to fly like super fast because it went from like
immediately.
like the somebody told her, it was that same adopted sister, I guess, told her like, you don't know how to fly, and she's like, but I can I can learn or something. And it's like she goes from that to running down an alley to and like that's all it takes, you know what I mean? Like she got flying like that, you know what I mean, and saving a plane. But it started to get cool, and then they like kick on this teen boppy music that's just like, show them what you doing, some stupid shit like that. It's
she's
like,
just
oh my
a girl.
god,
why? And the best part is when they say, oh, it's not a bird, it's not a plane, and it's not a man.
It's Supergirl.
It's just like,
it's like they're trying so hard to appeal. Like okay, it's cool to appeal to, I guess, girls and women, but it doesn't always have to be that trope. It just
that's my thing, is that I was gonna say is like, I'm not meaning this in a sexist way at all, man. I think we should have more prominent superhero females, but it's almost degrading to that genre, if you will. It's degrading almost. It's like, we got this prissy girl she works for this firm and she also saves people. It's like,
I mean, to be fair, some people were making the same argument, saying that you have Clark Kent, Superman, and he's working for an agency, and that's his disguise, and he's supposed to be awkward and stuff too. So they're saying it's like the same thing, but the difference is they're making it like Supergirl, even outside of her persona at her job, she's like still awkward and like
like, am I supposed to? Like, it's so weird. Like, what are they trying to say? All Kryptonians are just awkward in real life, and it's like
that's speciesist.
Huh?
That's speciesist.
Yeah.
And how does she like not age? Like, apparently when she gets sent, she gets sent after Clark Kent,
right?
And she's like already a teenager, or like 11 or 12 or something, it looks like, when they send her. Like, she's already old enough to stand and know what's going on and this, that, and the other. And so how is she not older than Clark? Like, if
Clark's
she's already
bought his space shuttle off Sky Mall.
Huh?
He's bought his space shuttle off Sky Mall. I'm not sure. Like, God, I wish I could just contact. There's a friend of mine, like, he knows all this stuff like the back of his head. Like, apparently it has something to do with time dilation, and Clark landed first and then she landed like years later, and the pod preserved their whatever age they were, or something like that. And then he just started to grow, and then because I think Kara appears like maybe 10 years later, like, but yeah, it is a little weird that Clark Kent is older than her and she's not older and all this other stuff. But I kind of wish they went in that they started off with her being showing Supergirl the teenager and having that angst and like, you know, figuring out how to fit in with humans and just being like a, you know, like a teenage girl, but you have superpowers and stuff like that. That probably would have been I think that would be probably a cooler approach to it. But you know, it's interesting. But then again, it is CBS. They do have shows that kind of go there when they really want to go there. I don't know if CBS is actually going to go there with this particular franchise or this particular character, but we'll see, I guess. Also, one thing that is completely ridiculous, when that general, or whatever his name is, he's like, welcome to the Department of Extra, like, what was it? Extra Normal Affairs? I was like, are you serious? That's the name? This is what we're calling this?
Where they were. It looked like they were in the Batcave when they...
Yeah, it was like, what the
That would be awesome.
And it's like, we don't want you here. And she's all,
okay, we're gonna walk off.
It's like,
Like,
go back to serving coffee. I was
I'm
like,
what?
like, would you talk to Superman like that? You know what I mean?
Not
Like,
gonna happen.
seriously,
Yeah.
you know.
Not gonna happen. Also,
And I guess you know, that's probably where she's gonna stand up and go prove herself and save everybody, regardless of what people said.
Speaking
And,
of overused tropes,
yeah, that's definitely an overused trope. Like, it was just all like, hi, my name is Karen. I live in Manhattan and I work at this job. My boss is a bitch, but I love her anyway. One day I figured out I could fly, and my cousin is awesome, and Jimmy Olsen is a big guy.
and my cousin is not ever going to show up in this show.
Yeah, because I
Never.
can audition my cousin.
Or
I
not.
wear his.
he will be
his
this
blankie.
loomy shadow that we never see, but he will always be hanging over her.
And I admit, I'm not a fan of the whole Superman character anymore because, like we were talking about this before, there's only so many ways you can have a story where the bad guy has that glowing green space booger that takes away their powers.
Yeah.
It's like-
And 13 episodes in a season where it always happens. Otherwise, you cannot do anything to Superman. He's what the Chuck Norris jokes want to be like.
Yeah, like, and I've said this before, that the the Batman Superman debate is retarded. It's redundant.
It's a retarded. Yeah, it's just so stupid.
There, in fact,
Batman's
in the
okay.
Pondering Nerds chat, some people were going, like, somebody had posted a picture and said, Superman at full strength, like he has been chilling in the sun for a while, he's at full strength, and he has no morals. You have to pick 3 people to save you. And Batman got listed multiple times. And I'm like, you're telling me that Superman at full strength with no morals, like morals are the only thing that keeps him from destroying Earth, period. With no morals, you're telling me is going to beat Superman. Like, I see how...
Yeah.
I don't see how that's going to happen.
There's a reason why the trope is called the Batman Gambit, because if anyone's going to come up with this, and like I said, going back to the Space Booger thing, it's, Superman has no morals, he's been in the sun, he's super powered. Green Rock, you're done, you're just some dumb nerd.
He's like, no.
Where does people get all this freaking kryptonite?
Graphite. It's hurting
Can you like 3D print it or something? Like, what's going on? You know?
I don't
They
know.
do. You can find everything there.
It's
Sky
really
Mall.
hard.
Sky Mall has kryptonite.
Sky Mall kryptonite. He's like, get your kryptonite over here.
We bought these rocks off Sky Mall when we got drunk.
What do I do with 10 pounds of
It's-
kryptonite? Damn it! I guess I gotta try and take over the world.
Yeah, it is incredibly hard to write a story for Superman, or I think it's probably Supergirl might be a little easy to write one for, because they're probably just gonna have her be more relatable as the human part of her, like the so-called human persona that she puts on. But I would say if you guys are interested in like getting a good story about Superman himself, like All-Star Superman is a pretty good story. There's another one where like it was a what if story, like what if he landed in Russia instead of America?
Red Sun.
Yeah, Red Sun. Red
Red
Sun
Sun.
is actually really, really great, like smartly written story. And I think that's what the Superman that we know today, like, you know, the one from Man of Steel and stuff like that, what we're missing is that element. Like, you know, like we're missing that good story to present this particular being to us, and it's like it's not, you know, it's just not working. But yeah, I mean, this is the trailer, this is the first look.
Was not impressed. Like, wasn't left wanting more. I don't know,
glad I
man.
didn't
It just totally disappointed me. Like, totally disappointed me. It just came off as this teen boppy. Yeah, just
Go
That's
watch the
pretty much-
Supergirl movie.
yeah. We'll have that. Let us know what you guys think in the comments for sure. We're gonna have the video in the description.
I would
So
pay money to see a Helen Slater from the '80s movie show up as a cameo in the series, and I don't care for comic
Yes!
book stuff at all. But it'd just be a nice little fan service thing.
Yeah,
it would
that'd
be cool. You have to hope that they're gonna pay some sort of
What
homage.
Yeah,
Helen
they
Slater's
have
doing
to,
right now
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
they have to. Yeah.
All right. Well, wrapping it up, we're gonna talk about one last thing this evening, and I just thought this was really cool, so I kind of threw this in here at the last minute. But Disney World in Orlando is set to get a quote Indiana Jones themed bar, and I have some beef with that personally because I don't see how it's too Indiana Jones related. We're going to have the link in the description, so you guys check that out. Right now, it's still just in concept. It's not actually out there yet, but it's supposed to be an Indiana Jones themed bar from his pilot Jacques from the first film. It's supposed to revolve around him. That's where it kind of throws me off, because when I think Indiana Jones themed bar, I'm thinking it's like a cave setting, or there's jungle and there's a aquarium of snakes, or something like something crazy, you know what I mean? And it kind of let me down a little bit, because when I saw the concept, it's a cool concept, but I think they're attaching Indiana Jones to it for no reason. It's a hangar concept. It's supposed to show planes and some World War II stuff, and while that's cool, it's just like But I kind of wanted to bring it to the table and see what you guys, what restaurants and movie themed type stuff you guys would like to see. I should also mention that in that article, they talk about a Star Wars themed restaurant that's opening up in Disney World. It's either Disney World or Disneyland, one of the two. I always get them confused. Yeah, but they're serving dishes such as fried chicken and waffles called the Dark Fried.
Oh,
It's awesome. So
whoever designed that,
the
Dark
That's like-
Fried. So Cajun style fries.
I guess I don't know how that goes down. I want to try it now. In all
do they
honesty.
have like calamari and say it's Jar Jar's family or something? Or
Who knows?
I'd buy it. I don't like Star Wars, but it would be kind of. I mean, let's face it. I don't like Star Wars, but that bar would make so much freaking money. It's ridiculous.
If I ever walk into a Star Wars bar, there better be a Cantina Bar band playing that theme song, and it better be playing 24/7. Just
that would be amazing.
I got the whole bad thing of like, I'd ask, you guys do requests? You guys cover Slayer?
they'd be like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh, man.
But so Lance, man, what do you like? If you could see a movie themed bar or restaurant, what would you like to see?
I was thinking about a show actually. Let's see.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, show will work.
Oh,
Show will
okay.
work
Well,
fine.
a show probably like Avatar: Last Airbender. That'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
interesting.
I think-
Interesting choice.
Yeah, because there is a whole world of stuff there, so I could see all that happen. I mean, they don't really talk about food or drinks in that show, but
Well, they do like the whole journey. I mean, that's strung out over 3 seasons, but there are filler episodes where it's like, I'm hungry, we got to go find food. In fact, Sokka, I believe, is like the one who's
The
always
hungriest.
complaining. Yeah, he's always complaining about being hungry and stuff. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. Derek, man, what do you think, man? Like, what would you love to see in a movie themed restaurant or bar?
I'm both a mark for Indiana Jones. I love World War II stuff, so this idea is kind of cool to me. I did like the mock-up. I can see where you're coming with it. I kind of want to order meatballs and have a gigantic meatball chase somebody down the road.
it just drops onto
it
your
could
plate.
be cool. And we were discussing this before the podcast. I'm big on. I don't care for roller coasters or anything, but I love like when a theme park does the whole thing that make you feel like you're inside whatever you're going to, like the Spider-Man thing. You feel like you're inside a Spider-Man comic. If they can do the whole, I can't think of a good word here. I couldn't before, but to make it seem like you're in Indiana Jones would be cool.
That experience.
But yeah, that whole experience. But just because I think it'd be cool, I think a Blade Runner themed bar would be cool.
Oh,
That would be
Yes.
that would be very cool. Like,
really
or
cool.
Fifth Element. Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, Fifth Element themed bar.
Alien.
Oh, yeah,
I
Predator
would like
waiters.
an aliens like have the Nostromo and then like have one section like we're aliens, so you have like all the armor and stuff from the Colonial Marines or something.
Yeah,
Give me a
yeah.
pulse rifle with my dinner or something.
I actually heard. I think there actually is like an H.R. Geiger themed restaurant somewhere in the world, but
Oh yeah, that's good to get drunk in there. That don't cause
Yeah,
nightmares.
like the ones that I was thinking of, I don't know if they already exist. I like in my mind, I almost think that they would. Like, I'd like to see a Jurassic Park themed restaurant, and I don't know if that already exists. I'm sure it does, or some dinosaur themed thing. That would be cool. Back to the Future would be awesome. You know what I
an
mean? You
80s,
walk in.
80s bar.
Yeah, well,
80s restaurant.
like in Back to the Future, you walk in and they could have sections from like all three different movies. Like you have a 1955 section, 1985 section, 2015 section. You know what I mean? And just have some crazy cool, gimmicks along the way. You know what I mean? Like that.
A bar like the '80s bar from Back to the Future 2 would be freaking awesome.
Right.
Mm.
Like
Michael
with the
Jackson
Pepsi
as a
in the
waiter. We
Yeah.
have Coke, Pepsi, Z.
Reagan Why haven't they done anything with Back? They took out the Universal Studios. If you're watching this, you suck. Back to the Future had to put some stupid Simpsons right in.
Oh, man.
Well, actually, that Telltale game that they did,
Yeah.
it picked up almost right as if the fourth movie, like if it was the fourth installment, and I thought that was really cool. It sucks that we don't see anything with
And the
that.
guy that did Martin McFly did such a bang on impersonation. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
and they actually got Christopher Lloyd to come in, and
And he didn't. He hasn't missed a day.
Yeah.
It was really good. And Telltale does great stuff anyway.
I'd love to see a Marvel themed bar, maybe like a
Yeah, especially now that Disney owns
Yeah.
that. I don't see any reason why they haven't.
Oh yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing.
Well, I'm
They
sure
have,
it's
like,
planned. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's something along those lines,
all the
right?
dishes will be like Iron Man. I don't know.
Iron Man desserts.
Iron Man, Thor.
Hulk smash pants.
Hulk smash cakes, like Hank.
I was thinking
Something
about that in
sounds
my
dirty
head,
about that.
like waitresses and waiters all being dressed like Avengers,
Yeah.
but like the Hulk is the one waiter. He'll bring you out your food, lay it down on the table,
He
and
just
just
groans
smash
at you.
the shit out of it.
He just groans at you every time you
you
touch
want some
food.
fat guy's food, I will punch you in the face.
Like,
So I don't know about a specific movie, but I personally would like to see like a Tim Burton themed restaurant. Just based off his kooky style.
yeah, that would work. Yeah.
Like something out of Beetlejuice, or Nightmare Before Christmas, or just something really zany, like everything to like the furniture to the walls, and just something really creepy. And I think also like a Batman themed restaurant would be cool. Like,
Tim Burton Batman, best of both worlds.
Yeah. Well, you could. Ooh, what if you had a Batman theme that like it did all the movies, like even
Oh, no,
even
no,
the
no,
shitty
no, no.
ones, even the
Oh.
shitty ones.
What about a Star Trek themed
Bat
restaurant?
nipples.
There's a Batman Forever section and a Batman and Robin section.
And you have to wear ice skates to get through the Batman and
Yep.
Robin section.
Yep, it's gonna be great.
What about a
Shoot
Lord of
out.
the Rings restaurant?
Lord
The
of the
only way
Rings.
that-
Whoa.
That would be
Even
cool.
ice hockey looks stupid. And I
Oh.
love hockey. It's like,
Like-
no, don't make hockey bad.
Oh, yeah, Batman and Robin.
Like Lord of the Rings. If you did Lord of the Rings, you would have to do some sort of.
Oh, you'd have to waste some money to do that.
Well, you'd have to have some sort of lands or something. Like I don't know, man. I don't know how you do
You
that.
could have make it like a tavern, or
I
pub or
wouldn't want to
something.
drink in some dirty ass tavern. I'm sorry, man. Like there's.
Yeah,
I can see that being done like in
I go to a dirty bar anytime I want to.
I will only go to a
Hobbit's Hill.
dirty tavern if there are songs being sung. I've never been to like a bar or tavern where
People are saying.
like people are singing. I've always wanted to go to Europe just to
Karaoke
experience that. You know what I mean? Some people singing while drinking. You know what I mean? But-
Here's always some stupid Skinner song.
yeah. Well, yeah. It's
Then I get in trouble saying, spoiler alert, the plane crashed.
Sweet
Well, they
Home
already-
Alabama. That's our drinking song in America.
God,
It's
no.
like-
That's the
Oh.
thing. It's like you gotta have a bar like from the actual like movie. Like in Harry Potter, they have actual restaurants and bars like the Three Broomsticks, the Leaky Cauldron, Hogshead. Those are actual places from the books and the movies. And now in Disney World, they have like Gaston's pub or something. Which actually is based up. It's made to look like the actual scene from the movie where they're singing the Gaston song.
Ah, okay. Ah, nice.
It'll be cool, like we talked
It'd be like
about the
good-
Nintendo theme. But like we talked about the Nintendo theme parks last week. I mean, like obviously they're gonna have to have restaurants in there, right? I mean,
They could have a Zelda themed restaurant.
Zelda,
It's made into a Triforce.
And
yes,
I could drink llama milk.
it's like a Triforce restaurant or Triforce bar and grill.
Try.
You can have that, Nintendo.
Triforce.
Take my money.
Oh,
But
man.
well, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and bring this show to a close. We've hit about our hour mark, which we try to do for you guys. Please be sure to follow us on Twitter, Stitcher,
TuneIn
YouTube,
Radio. Yeah.
iTunes. We're all over the place. You're going to catch us all over. Please be sure to let us know what you thought about everything that was said today in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking about it. Special thanks again to Derek Moore for coming out today. Derek, you have an article coming out soon, correct?
Yeah, first I want again thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast. My next article coming out, I've got to finish writing this. Nate, I know you're going to yell at me for that. It'll be another entry in my free-to-play series. This will be looking at the economics of gaming again, and the one I'm going at that I've been asked to already is GameStop's taking trade-ins on classic games, and we'll be selling them again, and I'm going to look at how that's going to affect the classic gaming market. I've talked about that in an article on the economics of NES collecting. One thing I like to do is I always like to give a little preview when I'm writing something. If you want to see how GameStop, Martha Stewart, and Earthbound come together, read my next article. Again, guys, thank you for having me.
That is 3 names you did not think you're going to do.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
So we are all looking forward to that, and that should be coming out here pretty soon. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Nate, that's Lance, Alyssa, and Derek, and take it easy.
Laters.